Western Spring Television. Ours it is.
It's a beautiful morning right here in the beautiful city of Ohiolei, Osun State. We are glad to be back on the show. Morning Spring is the name of the show right here on Western Spring Television, where we talk about critical issues affecting us as a people, speaking to critical stakeholders, politicians, policymakers, social advocates to help us have a better understanding and deeper insights into the topic of a discourse. Sometimes we move outside the shores of Nigeria, moving to other countries. My name is Evelyn Ohiolei, welcoming you especially. Femi, how are you doing today? Good morning.
Very well, thank you. Good morning. And good morning, Nigeria. Good morning, world. Femi Ojo is my name. It gives me great pleasure to be here again, of course, doing this with you. On the program, we'll look at the headlines, and then we get talking about these issues. Talking about the issues, it was a sad one yesterday when it was finally confirmed that the now former chief of army staff has been, pronounced and dead. That's General Tarid Lagbaja. It was a sad one. There has been controversy about his missing in action status for some time. In fact, a particular tweeted like 2 weeks ago that maybe he has passed, but then the army came, at that point to say, no, he's still alive, worse, alive. But yesterday, the presidency announced that the chief of army staff, General Tarid Lagbaja, has passed on. What a gallant officer, by the way. 1 year, 4 months in office. He was appointed in June last year. And, the fickle and the transient nature of life has caught up with him, just like it will catch up with all of us. That's it.
Yeah, it's a sad situation. Lieutenant General Tarid Lagbaja, it was a short stint at that exalted position as the Chief of Army Staff. But, he has done his part, and it's left for us to do our own part. That position right now is being occupied by Lieutenant General Ohiolei in acting position. People are looking forward to his name being forwarded to the Senate so it can be confirmed as a substantive Chief of Army Staff. We pray for the family of the deceased, that God gives them the fortitude to bear this irreparable loss. General Lagbaja died at the age of 56, and he was one that was always quick to talk about the progress, talk about the activities of the army, and is
quite
gone.
media friendly.
Yeah, media friendly.
Always there, just like you
It's
said.
gone, and it's like you said, it speaks to how fickle life is. It's left for us to do our own part and know what we want to be remembered with, what will be our legacy.
Exactly. Born 28th of February 1968, died 5th of November 2024. And, expectedly, encomiums and, messages, consolations have been coming in, speeches here and there. Firstly, from the number one, the chief, Grand Commander of the armed forces of the Republic, that's Mr. President himself. And in fact, they had to postpone the FEC meeting yesterday. And then, the vice as well, the Speaker of the House of Reps, the Senate President, expectedly so, many persons have been talking about, his gallant nature while he was the highest army officer while he was alive. And of course, that will happen, just like I said, to everybody, in as much as you are still here, irrespective of either you are a general or you are an officer or you are just civilians like us. That's what will happen.
And it's also a big loss to us here in Osun State. Is an Osun-born man, and one of our very own. You can say it like that. a very gallant officer that has continued to fly the state's, name and flag. No, is gone. So it's a big blow for the states too.
Yeah, Taoreed Abiodun Lagbaja, from here, by the way, and the Inspector General of Police, in the spirit of being, esprit de corps, I had to say, for the next 2 days, all is schedule rather, and his itinerary is cancelled. Of course, all the flags have been flying that have mast as well. And these are some of the things we are seeing at this time. All right, moving on. And, yesterday as well showed forth that the 47th president of the United States will be Donald J. Trump of the Republic. And, against all odds, you might want to say that. And, the man has said, I'm coming back. And the American people have agreed with him. The colored vote, the early voting, the substantial vote, everything has shown that Donald Trump is the next man to occupy the White House. We've had a guest on this program earlier in the week who spoke on both divides, and to say either it will be Kamala or it will be Donald Trump, the pattern and everything. We'll look at that in the course of the program. But then, Evelyn, Donald Trump is the next man, president-elect.
Yes, the 45th and the 47th president of the United States. A lot of people have said it's a big comeback for Donald Trump, and he has given his own victory speech even before
the official announcement.
Yes, the official announcement. He gave his victory speech, and congratulations have been pouring in from all over the world. Even our own president here, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, has congratulated Donald J. Trump for being the 47th president of the United States of America. Of course, he won that particular election with popular vote of 72,623,882 votes, with 295 electoral votes, defeating his, major contender, Kamala Harris of the Democratic Party, who garnered 67,927,989 votes with 226 electoral votes. I mean, it's a big win for Donald Trump. Congratulations to him, and we wish the people of America well.
World leaders, Emmanuel Macron, all of them, Keir Starmer, Benjamin Netanyahu, just like President Tinubu as well, have been talking and to say, all right, we wish you people the best. You don't have any choice. You just have to work with him, because anybody in that particular... See, by the way, we should say congratulations to Kamala Harris for running a very, very intense race with this particular person, even against all odds as well. We must give it to that. One man or woman will surely emerge. I do not Trump has emerged, but then you can't push away or denigrate the effort and the personality, the fight of Kamala, Harris. Maybe better luck next time. Donald Trump came the last time. People didn't vote for him. Another shot. Maybe next time. We'll take this quick break, and then when we return, the program will continue. Stay with us. All right, you're welcome back, and looking at the front page of the newspapers that we have with us. In fact, I wanted to take a particular newspaper. I had to just scroll. Maybe Evelyn will take that. I don't want to be the harbinger and of bad news this morning, talking about one particular paper. But then it is the reality, sad reality. Let me start from the Nigerian Tribune. For today, Tinubu direct flags to fly at half-mast as Lagbaja dies at 56. Council's fake meeting, Kingsmen suspend community activities, Buhari governance, NAS leadership, others mourn. And of course, you have a picture beside it that has to do with a wife of National Security Advisor, Mrs. Biliki Sorubadu, First Lady of Nigeria, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, the widow of the late Chief of Army Staff, Mrs. Maria Abiodun Lagbaja, the wife of the Vice President, Nana Shatima, and the wife of the Chief of Defense Staff, Mrs. Ogogo Musa, during our condolence visit by the First Lady to the home of the late General Taoreed Lagbaja on Wednesday. No, nobody wants to be in this kind of situation, but life happens. All right, and away from that, boldly reading, all marketers tackle Dangote in court. Okay, here we go. Say no to planned monopoly in energy sector. Okay. And away from that, Tinubu world leaders congratulate Trump as he marches 47th U.S. president, while Americans dumped Harris. You want to know why? Pick up a copy of this paper. Here, reps move to compel president to give account of stewardship before lean budget. Really? Okay. Expert expresses concern on rise in head and neck cancers related to HPV. What a concern. And NYC members call for implementation of 77,000 allowance. All right. Duly so, by the way, because this announcement was made without no gun to the head of the people who announced it, or no knife to the throat of the people who came with that information to say we are ready. 77,000 will be paid, and backdated to, was it not July or something? And this is November. Well, what does that say to the young people and the trust deficit that we are all talking about?
Yeah.
And these people, you will be told, in fact, that assignment is a national assignment, and you are telling them, you give them 77,000 naira. Nobody even forced you, but you guys came and said, this is what we are going to do. And 5 months down the line, nothing like that has happened. On national duty, you will now be ramming it, down their throat that they have to be patriotic. What a message.
And that is so right?
Really?
Femi, I don't know what you want me to say, because
No, I'm just saying, I'm not even asking you to say anything.
It's
77,000.
It has become the Nigerian factor, where the government says something and they are not putting their mouth
immediately
to it's a sad reality, especially for these core members who are just starting with life, and a lot of them already have this this notion about unpatriotic notion about Nigeria already in their head, and you're giving them more reason to
just second guess everything.
Nigeria,
really.
Probably Nigeria.
Some just passed out last week.
Yes, and they did not get the 77,000 naira. So we can only speak to issues and call those in positions of authority to do the needful.
You are disappointing them, and these guys will now find an opportunity to jump outside of the country. And Senate President will now say, no, you should not jack out, because people like us, is the love of the country that has kept us here. And so you should just remain ordinary 77,000 naira. You guys cannot pay. It's reeking of unseriousness, I'm telling you. Obasanjo Jonathan, others laud Obaseki's achievement and court bars CBN, others from withholding Kano local government funds. Court here and there, court. Dangote and marketers, court. Politicians to court. Appeal court, federal high court, all kind of court proceedings. Like, all right, maybe if it's legal, then it's legal. That will be all from the Nigerian Tribune.
And from the Nigerian Tribune, we head over to The Guardian. The Guardian newspaper this morning, the bold, big caption is on the U.S. election. U.S. decides, low expectations, optimism herald Trump's second coming. And you can see the man there, Donald Trump, with his picture and the seal of the President of the United States of America right beside him. And he has been elected the 47th President of the United States. Congratulations to him and to all Republicans. FG calls, and to all Americans, I should put there. It's a victory for Americans, not the Republicans only. FG calls for peace over Abia Akwa Ibom border dispute. Obasanjo, Jonathan Tambuwal, others laud Obasanjo's 8 years in office. Ohiolei is 80,000 naira minimum wage for workers. Naira remains volatile despite current account surplus, rising forex inflow. And floods sack Rivers and Anambra community. Floods and Rivers and Anambra communities. We hope they can be provided with some help and some succor. Tinubu honors ex-COAS as Obi Atiku governors. NNPCL mourn. FG blames frequent grid collapse on Disco's inability to offtake electricity. Okay. Someone will still have to take the fall. Yeah. Someone will still have to take the blame.
It's not vandalism.
So it's now on the Discos, their inability to offtake electricity. That will be all from the Guardian newspaper this morning.
All right. And Evelyn, you just had to make me come back to what I refused to take in the first place. Daily Trust newspaper. And the bold headline, I ran from it, but now we are back to it. Bandits abduct over 50 people in Zamfara. Okay. Not okay, by the way. With riders place 150 million naira levy on residents. Kill 10 farmers in Niger. We are working hard to tackle problem. Okay. 50 people abducted in a state in Zamfara. And 150 million naira levy on residents. By who? Not the local government, not the state government, not the Nigerian police, not the federal government. By non-state actors called bandits. The one that some traditional rulers are that enter banned at some point. The ones we are giving amnesty to say they are repentant. The ones we are saying they have, they are holding their hands up in the air to say they have surrendered. And these guys are still running riots, across states at will. Now, 150 million naira levy on residents. What exactly is that for? 150 million. What do we call that? Because it's not your ransom.
Yeah.
Maybe price for freedom or something.
It didn't start today. There have been, bandits placing levy on these residents. In fact, on farmers, saying you cannot go to farm unless you pay this particular levy.
Planting season.
Exactly. So that's why sometimes, a lot of people said that it actually contributed to the high price of food stuff because these people would have to get back all the levies they've been paying to these non-state actors in one way or the other. And if they do not make those payments, they will not be allowed to go to farm. So their source or means of livelihood has been tampered with. Exactly. So the fact that, of course, the government is saying we are working hard to tackle the problem. The question will be for how long? Because those people live in perpetual fear.
How hard are they working?
That's the question for them. These people live in perpetual fear, and they would rather pay the levy than trust the government to rescue them.
To provide
so it speaks a lot to who runs the state.
Really, I think that's who runs that particular state. Is it still the government? And you see the handlers of the government at state level, especially at the federal level, will tell you Boko Haram, ISWAP, ISIS, any of these criminals, they are not hoisting flags again that like it used to be under the last administration of the other party. Now we are in charge. Only just skirmishes on pockets of, easy targets are the ones that are being affected right now. But the jury is in the open, and this is not the thing that is happening. It's not true with what is happening in Zamfara. Niger as a state has its own problem as well. Killed 10 farmers at will. And we have a government. By the way, the bad news, Lagbaja's death, top generals for redeployment, and Tinubu Akpabio governors mourn, FEC meeting postponed indefinitely, national flag to fly at half-mast for 7 days. And you can see the man there that has came, saw, and conquered and left, the scene, and the color dark to show at 56. Maybe you could have offered more, if not for life. By the way, moving on, and here Kano begins the registration of foreigners. Okay, discos hike prices of meters in all of these. At these end they were saying all of these robodion. We are still hearing hiking, petrol hiking. Was not hiked again. Okay, maybe the discos will tell you as well that their cost of production has increased. And end bad governance protest, but no minors still in custody, defense lawyer. Okay. These minors are now identified based on the state they came from. Kaduna minors, the Kano minors, they are the ones that have been set free. We are hearing there are Borno minors. Are they really? Because we don't know if it's minor, or minor major, or just minor somewhere. But then if time permits, we look into that in the course of the program. Tinubu world leaders congratulate Trump on election victory. And 22, by the way, let me say it here. A couple of Nigerian politicians, went to the US. They said they went to observe elections. By the way, they are right. It as a private citizen, as a politician. But the thing is, by the time they are back, we like to ask them, what did they observe? How is it done over there? We saw pictures and holding meetings, the two pictures, they uploaded their timelines to say we are observing, the election. I would like to ask them how many ballot boxes were snatched, how many, people carry cutlass, how many voters were intimidated and, knives, big sticks wielded at them to say, if you vote for this particular candidate, we are going to deal with you. And nothing has happened. How many thugs were moved around in Escalate and Jeeps? By the way, I think I'm
And
interested.
how many result sheets were actually tampered with?
And the IREV, if actually they have IREV, how many of these results were mutilated?
Oh, there were glitches. Were there glitches?
Glitches, we like to see.
The results were uploaded in real time. People were following as each, result was being uploaded from different states, from different, counties. It speaks, I know, yes, you can say the U.S. democracy is well developed. It's
but still not
robust,
perfect, by the way.
Than the Nigeria democracy. We are still growing, but then I hope we can learn the good things,
That's why they are there to observe now.
But can they replicate that in our country when they come back?
Election is just around the corner. In Ocean is just 2026. The general election is 2027. In fact, there will be one in Ondo State this month. You don't forget.
Yeah.
So some of these people that have gone to observe, I hope you go to Ondo and tell them, this is how we do it, and this is how we run it. And bad one, 22 miners feared dead as pit collapses in Adamawa. Again, here we go. What is the safety procedures? Are these the real guys that use the machines or the artisanal miners? Because this, one would say it happens. In China, I remember years ago it happened. In South Africa it happens. But what's the response like? And I hope their own governor will not go on trip and the deputy will go on trip and the speaker will go on trip, just like it happened in the state not too far from them there. Let's just do whatever we do and to do it rightly. And lastly, tax reform. President should unite, not divide Nigeria. Okay, it seems the dust is here to settle the tax reform thing, and that's coming from the Bauchi state governor. That will be all on the headline segment for this morning. We take this break. When we return, we speak to matters arising. Stay with us.